touch the sky. My heart is in my mouth and I can't think of a better way. My heart is in my mouth and I can't think of a better way to spend the day than with you here today.
Welcome back everybody to the Irish Furian. I am the Irish Furian. Okay, so this won't be too long. This is going to be kind of like a taster for a series of videos about manufacturing consent. And so let's get straight into it. Basically in this one I want to talk about two pieces of media which are related to Ireland era. Of which I am a son of, and so it's close and personal to me. Now, I'm sorry if my audio from the microphone is a little bit scratchy when I speak. I have noise suppression on, and so the noise comes through as I open up the gate of the audio coming through, and so you hear a little bit of scratchiness in the background. Sorry about that. I shall try and sort it for the future, but I wanted to get running on these videos. With this one, so we're going to look at a few things here, two videos in particular, and I will go to them straight away. Let me just prepare this here, and I'll go like that. I'm going to check. Ooh, hang on a second. I should go all the way back. It flipped there because I pressed 3, and we'll just look. Yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is a show. So anybody who is not woken to the idea that they're living in a one world system, a system which is manufactures your consent through the media, and that media would be a television in every household in every country all across the world. So that's how they do it. And so then what they do is they take control of the media they have control of the media in those countries, and they then what they do is they have agendas that they want to enact, and they can only enact those agendas if they have your consent and check marking the box. In other words, the only way they can get you to check mark the box and manufacture your feelings, your thoughts, and manipulate your perception and your awareness and how you think is through the media. Okay, so while you're sitting there thinking you're being entertained, and on one level you are, these shows are incredibly funny and they're incredibly creative and they're incredibly well written. What you don't, a lot of people will understand what I'm talking about already, but the people who don't, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, what they're doing is there is subtext and narratives being sent into your mind, sent into your understanding to control your understanding, to enact the agendas that they're going to enact. Okay, so this is from a show called Father Ted, and this is before mass immigration into Ireland really took off. Okay, but what they were doing was they were preparing the Irish mind for mass immigration, and basically they were weaponizing a structure, weaponizing social cohesion, social virtue, social shame, which Northern Europeans have a lot of, because that's how we survived the winter. Okay, by trusting our neighbors, by adapting to the winter, adapting to working together to get through the winter. And that creates a race and ethnicity of people who are very high in social sensitivity and social shame and social virtue. Okay, so along come these shows which basically show you that you're not supposed to be this thing called a racist. Okay, so I hear you're a racist now, Fat. So you're at home, you're watching this show, on comes this thing. There's this earlier narrative about Nazi Germany and about Adolfo Hitler, and you have been programmed with those images from earlier movies created by Steven Spielberg, Spielberg meaning Mountain of Stories, Story Mountain. Okay, those are your memories of that. And so when you see this, you see that that ties into this word called a racist, which is now being weaponized for you not to be. You must not be this thing, because as you see in the show, in the world of being in the show, it's so bad for Father Ted to be this thing, because you watch his reactions. Well, like when he steps outside, look, we'll do it now. We'll go and look at it, right? So here we go. All right.
Dougal, look.
So as you can see, this is just a Northern European guy, right? Take into understanding that of my generation and of I forget the actor's name here. Damn, I should have looked that up. He died of a heart attack apparently, but we had no ethnicities or races different from our own when we were growing up. We were homogenous. We had one group of people, okay, and so it was fun to take, to do impressions of other races and ethnicities, which is, or we say, the idea of them that we had in our minds, okay. So that's all this guy's doing, is having a bit of fun. And it's a laugh, like he's not being nasty. But watch.
I am Chinese, if you please. Come on, Dougal, lighten up.
Okay, so look, you see the expressions of the Chinese people outside the window. Their reaction is emotional. Their reaction is offense. Okay, they are offended. Okay, now any person in the real world, Chinese people in the real world, they probably laugh, or they'd probably go, "What the hell is wrong with that guy?" Doing that with his eyes and all the rest of it. Like anybody with a strong sense of self. But instead, what you're being presented with on this is ethnically Chinese people who have caught out the Northern European white man pretending to be some kind of stereotypical Chinese, right? So look at his reaction, right? He's incredibly shamed. He's showing a great deal of shock and shame for his own behavior and being caught out in this behavior. Now, what's happening here is you as the viewer, who you're not aware of what you're being presented with here. You're being conditioned to act like this, man. That's what this show is for. That's what this is about. This is what manufacturing consent is about. We'll continue.
Who? Dougal, there were Chinese people there.
All right, yeah.
I mean, what?
Now, the thing about it is, it's very funny. It is incredibly funny. But that's the stopper. That's the wall that stops Joe Normie from going any further in thinking about this. What's being presented to him? What's happening to him or her? It's the entertainment value, the absolute hilarity of it, that stops the person thinking, "Oh, I'm being conditioned here to behave like this guy."
What is, I mean,
That's the Inn family. They're living over there in that old Chinatown area.
Chinatown there. There's a Chinatown on Craggy Island. Dougal, I wouldn't have done a Chinaman impression if I'd known there was going to be a Chinaman there to see me doing a Chinaman impression.
Why not?
So, as you can see, the dumb Dougal doesn't know why, all right? Whereas the alpha, the so-called leader of the pack here, is highly in a state of shame for his behavior. He's really shocked at being caught out at this. All right.
Because it's racist.
Now, you got it. See? Bang. In comes the word. All right? The word's weaponized. Now you've got that word laden. It's laden with shame. It's laden with negative feelings. All right? So you mustn't be a racist. Okay? And this is how you're conditioned. And then you go on social media and you have all the paid trolls all attacking everybody who doesn't want mass immigration into Ireland, who doesn't want the rest of the world flooding into Ireland. And all the paid trolls, paid by the way, yes, paid. There are people who are paid to actually support narratives like this, and they have scripts which they have to follow and attack, demean and shame anybody who speaks up or dissents. That's the world you're living in.
They'll think I'm a racist. I'm going to have to catch up with them and explain I'm not a racist.
Hello there, Father.
Hello, Colin. Out and about?
I am. Same as yourself.
Good, good.
So Ted here now is, he's just unsuspecting, and he's just in an in-between state of insecurity, and a neighbor is about to just nonchalantly and without
I hear you're a racist now, Father.
bang, bang, there you go, there it goes again. Look and watch Dermot Morgan, that's his name. Watch Dermot Morgan's reaction. Look, his eyes come up. He called me that word again.
What? How did you get interested in that type of thing?
Who said I'm a racist?
Everyone's saying it, Father. Should we all be racist now? What's the
Yeah, you should. If you love your culture, your history, your heritage, it's normal to want to hold on to those things. The word racist was created to make you unable to hold on to those things, unable to fight for those things, unable to stand up for those things. You understand? We keep going.
official line the church is taking on this?
Oh, no.
Only the farm takes up most of the day, and at night I just like a cup of tea. I mightn't be able to devote myself full time to the old racism.
Good for you, Father.
What? Oh, Mrs. Carberry.
Good for you, Father. Well, someone had the guts to stand up to them at last. Coming over here, taking our jobs and our women, and acting like they own the second place. Well done, Father.
So it's quite a piece of irony there, because there was, again, I'll say it was terms and conditions. This had all been decided many years before. There was a global compact for migration, a United Nations document signed in Marrakesh in Morocco in 2018, December the 10th, by Leo Varadkar, to allow for the safe, orderly and regular of migration of peoples from developing nations into developed nations. There's no defining of what a migrant is. There's no defining of what a developing nation is. There's no defining of what a developed nation is. None of that is outlined in the document. Yet there are 30 pages in that document which says they can come to our countries, and we must advertise as a developed nation, whatever that is. We must advertise our job opportunities, our school placements, and housing placements. We must advertise our houses to the entire world. All right? That's an actual document signed by the puppet for the globalist Illuminati elite, who run the world, by the way, and enact agendas using media such as television, Netflix, advertising, and political rhetoric to enact their agendas. And so she's here saying this, here's she's saying this, and the rhetoric within the movie, within the show of the rhetoric is correct. She's actually right.
Good for you.
Okay, so I'll just check, see if this is still recording. Hopefully it is. All right, so I want to now show another one. Hopefully you're still seeing the screen. This is by a group called Foil Arms and Hog. Guy on the right there has been on Irish TV for the longest time. Like, what I'm trying to impress upon you here is that people think television is for entertainment. It's not. It is not. Okay? It is for the conditioning of your perception. It is for the manufacturing of your consent. All right? So the media manufactures your consent, and then you concede your will to the state. The state, under the influence of the one world order, is getting their agendas within our nations, within our countries, enacted. Okay? So here's another one. I'm just going to show you this one.
Before granting you entry to the Republic of Ireland, I just have a few simple questions. It's just a formality. Name 3 Irish rivers.
River Shannon, River Liffey, and River Dance.
Okay, so again, you know, you're being presented with hilarity and comedy here, and you're enjoying it. But the undercurrent, the subtext, the narrative is that immigration of these kinds and these levels is normal. Okay, into Ireland, a small, tiny little country. All right, already with a native population here.
Correct. When is summer in Ireland?
The 15th to the 23rd of July.
Correct. What are Ireland's national sports?
Gaelic football, hurling, and binge drinking.
Correct.
All right, so you see that they're obviously, these guys are, you know, they're a little bit dry in their stereotyping of the Irish. Okay, we can get into, say, I've talked before in the past many times about, say, the dysfunction. I need to talk more about it again in the future, about how sick Irish society was, how it had morally failed, and that is the sign of a dying society. So the Irish people began not to have children. There's my generation, especially, was told not to have children, was told to go out and enjoy your lives, don't have the hardship of having a family. Whatever about the security of having children for your future as an old person, whatever about the companionship, whatever about the joys of learning how to be a human being, a parent in life, which your parents experienced before you. But that they didn't want that for you. It wasn't suggested for you. They said, stave off having children for as long as you can. Go out and have a career, make money, have a life, as if having children wouldn't be having a life. Okay? So you end up with a very small birth rate in the country. And so central banking and global finance needs to continue to prop up the Ponzi scheme, the pyramid that is the economy. All right? They can't do that without workers. They can't do that without consumers. The only way they can do that now is to bring in people from all over the world and prop up that scheme. Keep that going. Okay? And so you've got to understand that all of this media, all of it, is aimed at supporting that. It's aimed at supporting that system, which was failed by the failed morality of the Irish within their own nation. So we'll just continue.
What is Ireland's national dish?
Nye Horan,
He is. What are the 2 predominant religions in Ireland?
Man United, and Liverpool.
They are. How many
So you see how it's gone? It's gone so secular that's
counties are there in Ireland?
22.
How many accents are there in Ireland?
2000.
Yes. The current Irish
Well, there is
government is
now.
a coalition of which 3 parties?
Apple, Facebook, and Google.
Yes.
Oh, how true is that? Look at that little truth drop right there. Let's listen to that again.
Name the
2.
How many accents are there in Ireland?
2000.
Yes. The current Irish government is a coalition of which 3 parties?
Apple, Facebook, and Google.
Wow. Couldn't be more true. How about that?
Yes. Name the area with the highest Irish population density.
London.
Correct. What time zone does Ireland run?
And so that tells you that's a little slip in there of the disintegration of the Irish nation. You know, that you're not entitled to Ireland Irish people because you have Irish people elsewhere. You know, how does that work? So shall we say that the Nigerians aren't entitled to Nigeria because a lot of Nigerians have left? So, if you have a large Nigerian diaspora, is Nigeria not entitled to be Nigerian? Yeah, we'll do that one again.
Is a coalition of which three parties?
Apple, Facebook, and Google.
Yes. Name the area with the highest Irish population density.
London.
Correct. What time zone does Ireland run on?
5 minutes past when it should be.
Yes. Where will you go if you defraud the government in Ireland?
Prison.
Where will you go if you defraud the taxpayer in Ireland?
Spain.
Yes. Who came to power?
Yeah, it's just a little kind of distraction. People still being distracted by political figures and their bad behavior, or small players in business and all the rest of it. It's the higher ups, man, which are doing all of this.
Following Irish independence from Great Britain.
The Catholic Church.
They did. What is Ireland's biggest export?
Nurses.
What is Ireland's biggest import?
Landlords.
What is the current
No.
street value of crack in Ireland?
90.
The crack is 90. Now for the Irish language section.
Cacular. Eraglat.
What?
Cacular. Eraglat.
My God, the two guys, their pronunciation is so bad. Yet what they're trying to present here is that the Irish guy doesn't even know what they're talking about. Two foreigners, right? But you can barely understand what they're saying.
Sorry, I don't speak Irish, so.
Jesus.
Okay, now for the practical.
All right, so there's no such thing as Irish. Just because an Irishman can't speak Irish. You understand that your consent is constantly being manufactured here. Your understanding of what it is to be Irish is being disintegrated while you watch this. That's what it's for. That's its purpose.
Please pour a pint of Guinness from this can.
No, wait. Never drink Guinness from a can.
Correct. Welcome to Ireland, lads.
I think we'll just leave it there anyway. So, hopefully that was of some information to you. Let's see if I go to here. All right, so your consent is being manufactured. Your perception is continually being altered by passively watching television, by reading newspapers, by listening to the radio. Your understanding of the world is continually being constructed for you. I strongly suggest don't watch television, don't listen to the radio, don't read newspapers, and don't listen to political rhetoric. Don't listen to any of the politicians. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's to distract you from the real agendas that are being enacted. Okay? So that's all I've got for you this evening. And I will do more videos on the manufacturing of consent. I want to do one on Edward Bernays. And Sigmund Freud, his uncle. And yeah, anyway, that's for a future one. All right. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Flying so free, flying so